Hey there, folks. I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now, the next movie I'll be vlogging tonight may not seem like a Halloween movie to some of you, but the point is, this movie is considered a monster comedy. Anyway, if you may recall, about a few months ago, I looked at the Son of Bigfoot movie, and I still think it's a good film in my opinion. Now, let's discuss about a creature that's in the same category as Bigfoot. A creature known as the yetis. In the folklore of Nepal, the yeti, or abominable snowman, is an ape-like entity taller than any average human, and it is said to inhabit the Himalayan region of Nepal, Bhutan, and Tibet. The names Yeti and Meta are commonly used by the people indigenous to the region, and is part of their history and mythology. Stories of the Yeti first emerged as a facet of Western popular culture in the 19th century. The scientific community has generally regarded the Yeti as a legend, given the lack of evidence of its existence. In one genetic study, researchers matched DNA from hair samples found in the Himalaya. Now, so far, when it comes to pop culture, I know about this beast from the Disney thrill rides Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom, the Matterhorn at Disneyland, and it's being held on display in the basement of the Collector's Fortress at Disney California Adventure. And the only movies I've seen a Yeti in were Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from 1964, its sequel, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys, as well as Pixar's Monsters, Inc. movies. Even one got to cameo in the Hotel Transylvania trilogy, and several got to help Santa Claus make toys in Rise of the Guardians. But, just recently, Warner Brothers released a new animated movie about the Yetis and how they feel about humans. Released on September 28th, 2018, the movie is Smallfoot. Now let's begin. Migo is a friendly Yeti whose world gets turned upside down when he discovers something that he didn't know existed. Humans. He soon faces banishment from his snowy home when the rest of the villagers refuse to believe his fantastic tale. Hoping to prove them wrong, Migo embarks on an epic journey to find the mysterious creature that can put him back in good graces with his simple community. So, what are my thoughts on the movie? Well, this has got to be the funniest animated movie I've seen this year. Next to Hotel Transylvania 3, that is. But anyway, let's move on to Mustang notes. The movie was animated by Sony Pictures Imageworks, who had also provided the animation for the Warner Animation Group movie, Storks. Ryan O'Loughlin, a DreamWorks animation veteran, was originally the film's director, but he was sadly replaced by Carrie Kirkpatrick. Also, the movie is loosely based on the book Yeti Tracks by Sergio Pablos. Now, what are my thoughts on the animation? Well, in my opinion, I think the animation is pretty good. While it can be a tad cartoony at times, I think the animation is very reminiscent to the Looney Tunes. Plus, I think it's way better than their Lego movies in my opinion. No offense, guys. Also, I like the way the Yeti's village is in this movie. It looks almost like a primitive caveman village. Plus, their traditions and rules remind me of history during the early centuries. Some of the funniest parts in the movie, in my opinion, are the scenes where Migo goes down the mountain, the part where Migo tries to keep Percy warm, and the chase scene nearing the end of the movie, which feels almost like a Pac-Man game. Also, there's this running gag in the movie that involves a clueless goat. Also, what really surprised me is that this movie is considered a musical, and the songs in the movie were written by director Cary Kirkpatrick and his brother Wayne. The songs include Perfection, which feels like a nice opening song, and it does do a nice job showing what each Yeti does. Wonderful Life, which has a nice message about the wonders of the world. Percy's Pressure, which happens to be my favorite song in the movie, due to it being based on Freddie Mercury and David Bowie's song Under Pressure. And it gets me even excited for the Bohemian Rhapsody movie next month. There's also Wonderful Questions, which is sung while the Yeti tribe are getting to know about Percy. Let It Lie, which is pretty catchy and thought-provoking at the same time. And finally, there's Moment of Truth by CYN, and finally Free by Neil Horan, which are sung during the end credits. So, let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought them to life. Our main character, Migo, is voiced by Jenna Dewan's husband, Channing Tatum, who got to be in Step Up, the G.I. Joe movies, She's the Man, the Lego movies, and the Book of Life. Now, Migo is a Yeti gong banger apprentice determined to prove the existence of the Smallfoot ever since he witnessed a plane crash. And he has a crush on Michi. I really like this character. He's a very friendly Yeti, and he can be pretty funny at times. Plus, I think Migo has a bit of loyalty and curiosity in him. Percy Patterson, the human whom meets Migo, is voiced by James Corden, who got to be in Into the Woods, DreamWorks Trolls, Sony's The Emoji Movie, and Peter Rabbit. Now, Percy is a former TV personality and wildlife documentary filmmaker trying to get back into the spotlight. In my opinion, Percy is the most relatable character in the movie. Plus, I do like the bond Percy has with Migo, though it doesn't really start out great at first. Also, as the film progresses, Percy starts to understand and communicate with the Yetis. I also like the part where Percy bandages Migo's big toe after he got caught in a bear trap. Next we have Michi, voiced by Disney Channel star Zendaya, who got to be in Spider-Man Homecoming and The Greatest Showman. Michi is a young female Yeti who believes in the Smallfoot, and she's the leader of the Smallfoot Evidentiary Society, or SCS for short. And, in my opinion, Michi is very beautiful, and I think she's a very fun-loving Yeti. Plus, I like the part where she helps Percy get home before he loses oxygen, only to get distracted by the city lights and accidentally causes a disruption after dropping him off. Plus, I think Zendaya's singing voice is just amazing. Finally, we have Michi's father and the leader of the Yetis, Stonekeeper, voiced by rapper Common, who got to sing Glory with John Legend in the movie Selma. and he voiced Atticus's father, Seymour, in Happy Feet 2. To me, Stonekeeper is strict and wise, and I think his robe, made of stones, looks very clever. Also, the scene where Stonekeeper reveals the truth to Migo during his song Let It Lie was very interesting, but still very thought-provoking. You see, the Yetis used to live below the clouds, but were scared away by the humans who feared and killed them. To keep them safe, the Yetis created the stones that made the laws and rules. The various tasks that the Yetis do every day are actually powering a machine beneath the village that creates the clouds, which are actually steam. The rest of the cast include LeBron James, Gina Rodriguez, Danny DeVito, Yara Shalhilda, Eli Henry, and Jimmy Tatro. And now, let's move on to my final words. Overall, Smallfoot is a pretty good movie to come from Warner Brothers, and as I said earlier, this has got to be one of the funniest animated movies this year. The characters are all memorable and likable, the comedy is hilarious and zany, the voice cast is terrific, and the songs are all great to listen to. And while the story is a bit cliched, I still think this is a movie that is great for children and grown-ups. So, I give this movie a 91% out of 100. Well, that's it for tonight, everyone. Be sure to tune in next time as we journey into the land of darkness to look into another computer game from Humongous Entertainment. Mustang Power.